Believe it or not, losing weight isn't actually the most difficult part of the whole dieting process. Keeping it off is. I have seen so many times where somebody gets a good bit of weight off. All of a sudden, they can see their knob when they look down in the shower. They're wearing clothes 2 sizes smaller than they were when they started. All of a sudden, their confidence has come flooding back. But when you fast forward 6 months, all their hard work has been flushed right down the toilet. They're back to hiding in baggy hoodies, out of breath running to catch a bus, and they're hating what's looking back at them in the mirror all over again. All because they underestimated how difficult it is to actually keep the weight off. But I am going to tell you exactly the pitfalls to look out for once you've managed to get the weight off, and what you need to do to make sure you don't waste all your hard work and you actually manage to keep the weight off once and for all. How do I know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm John. I've been a coach for well over 12 years and I have helped countless guys get rid of the weight they've been trying to lose for years and manage to keep it off. So if you want help getting rid of that spare tire that's sitting around your gut once and for all, not put it all back on, then you can get more help just like this by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and giving me a follow on Instagram at John Agini Coaching for more help. But what is it that makes keeping the weight off so much harder than losing it? First off, a lot of it depends on how you actually lost the weight. Like if you just stuck to the same boring meal plan, you will have hated the process of just eating chicken, broccoli and rice every single day, and there's no way you're sticking to that once the weight's come off you. Especially when you throw in the fact that meal plans don't actually teach you how to live without just following what's written on a piece of paper. Because usually what happens is once you've lost the weight, the meal plan goes straight into the bin and you go back to eating how you were before. And how you were eating before is what made you fat in the first place. Which is part of the reason why I much prefer using flexible dieting with my guys, but that's a whole other video for another day. The thing is, everyone thinks they can just go back to eating the way they were eating before with absolutely zero consequences. Sadly, that's not how it works. And if you go back to eating the way you were before, you are going to end up in the exact same place you were when you started the diet. So how should you be eating to keep the weight off? Before I tell you that, you can get a taster of exactly how I work with my guys to get them losing the weight, feeling class when they're topless by the pool. You can get a taster of that by getting a free 4 weeks of coaching by hitting the link below. So, how to eat once you've lost the weight? Well, first off, you need to make sure to avoid the thing that is going to get you overeating, which is hunger and cravings. When you're dieting, you do spend a good amount of time being a bit hungry, being a little peckish and craving certain foods. You can keep the cravings down by sticking to flexible dieting, but again, another video for another day. The thing is, when you are dieting and you are a little bit hungry, you keep pushing through. You don't mindlessly snack because you have that goal that you're working towards. That holiday, that set weight target, that is enough to stop you reaching for the biscuit drawer or the crisps cupboard or whatever it is that you struggle with. But as soon as you take that goal or that target away, the prospect of biscuits becomes so much more appealing and saying no becomes so much harder. So to keep the hunger at bay, you need to keep eating the same foods you were eating when you were on a diet, just more of them. Chances are that when you were dieting, you were eating loads of good single ingredient foods, loads of fruit, loads of veg, decent carb sources like your porridge, rice. You were eating good lean protein sources like chicken, turkey, fish, all the stuff that's low in calories but high in volume, which helps keep you full. So increasing your portion sizes of them will mean that you actually eat a fair bit more calories, which will take you to maintenance, and it'll also keep you so much fuller than if you were to have an extra 300-400 calories worth of crisps, Kit Kats, Twixes, Haribo, whatever it is. Because when you're hungry and you snack on those foods, you're more likely to end up binging on them because they're not going to keep you full. So that was what's going to send your calories through the roof. Whereas if you increase the amount of porridge you're having, if you increase the amount of veg, fruit, chicken you have, all that stuff is going to keep you fuller. And with feeling fuller, you are going to be less likely to want to snack or binge on those shite foods. The next thing you need to do is be sensible with how you increase your calories. If you were dieting on 1800 calories, you can't expect to be, right, well, I'm done dieting, I'm just going to start eating 3000 calories overnight. Again, that is a quick way to get fat, even if it's with decent single ingredient foods. If you start eating 1200 calories a day more than what you were yesterday, that's quite a lot more calories than what your body's used to. You are going to put on some unwanted body fat. So what you want to do is when you are finished dieting, increase your food by about 300 or 400 calories, depending on how aggressive the deficit was. And keep an eye on your weight when you're doing this. If your weight shoots up by about a kilo in the first week, you probably want to keep your calories the same going into the next week. Then once your weight stabilizes and balances out and is roughly the same most days, then increase your calories by about 150 calories a day going into the next week. And again, if your weight shoots up by over half a kilo, then you probably want to keep your calories the same going into the week after that. If your weight only creeps up by about 0.2, 0.3 kilos or stays the same, then again, up your calories again by another 150 calories a day. And then you just keep repeating this cycle until you're at a weight that you're happy with. Oh, but I thought you weren't meant to gain any weight post-diet. And this is where the difference between gaining weight and putting on body fat comes into it. Just by eating more food to bring your calories up to maintenance calories, naturally the scale weight is going to come up. This is literally because if you are eating more food in terms of volume of food, there's going to be more food sitting in your stomach when you weigh yourself, meaning the scale weight's going to come up. Throw in the fact that because you're probably going to be eating more carbs, you are going to be holding on to more water, because for every gram of carb you eat and store, you hold on to 3 grams of water. So if you eat an extra 100 grams of carbs a day, you are naturally going to hold on to an extra 300 grams of water as well. 100 carbs a day is a bit of an increase though, so maybe don't have that much more. But eating more carbs means you retain more water. So your water weight goes up, again, meaning the scale weight goes up without you actually putting on any body fat. And if you keep pushing your calories up, chances are your performance in the gym is going to go up as well, which means you are going to lift more weight, which means you're going to be building a little bit more muscle. And again, muscle shows up on the scales, so your scale weight is going to go up because of that as well. Not massively, it's not like we're rinsing gear here. And that's something which can help keep you motivated by setting certain targets in the gym, whether it's a bench press target, a deadlift target, or whatever. Setting yourself some targets in the gym will keep you consistent with your training. And because you're eating more food, the quality of those training sessions are going to go up. You're going to get closer to those targets, which is going to make you feel better. All of a sudden, you still have that goal, which is going to keep you going in the gym, which is going to keep you in that side of a routine. And when you go to the gym, you're more likely to want to eat good, decent foods to fuel your gym progress, to fuel your recovery, and not make you feel like you're wasting time going into the gym if you're just eating Mackies every single day. So to summarize, to keep the weight off, keep doing the exact same things you were doing to lose the weight, just eat a little bit more of those foods and lift a bit heavier weights. And if you want to see how I work with my guys to get them losing the weight, keeping the weight off, and looking and feeling class when they go on their holidays, when they go on their Christmas nights out, you can get a free 4-week taster of coaching by hitting the link below. And you can get more advice for absolutely nothing by giving this video a like, subscribing to this channel, and giving me a follow on Instagram at John Agini Coaching.